Butterflies. This is your girl, Sharon K. Griffin, aka Madam Butterfly. I hope that you are having a phenomenal week. I hope that you had the opportunity to flap your wings and do what you do. I need you to invite somebody on this live, yes, because I have two special people here with me, Tory and Teri, and I'm waiting for them to join me. And they are certified Christian marriage counselors. So it's going to be dope because, as you know, this is unfiltered with Sharon K. Griffin, right? So anything goes. Why? Because it's my show. And I love to ask the questions that no one wants to talk about. So I had a dynamic conversation with one of my daughters on today, and I had a dynamic conversation with another one yesterday. But to be honest, all of our conversations are dynamic with all of our children. But I'm going to say for me, especially our girls, because I get the opportunity as a mom, as a stepmom, to like just really talk about anything and talk about everything. So anything goes. If you haven't purchased 134 Reasons You Can't Find a Man, I suggest that you do so. It is actually a book / journal. It's actually 134 reasons. On every page, there is a reason, okay, of why you can't get a man. But I like to say, in all honesty, there's over 134 reasons why you can find someone that is going to love you just for being who you are. Okay. So I don't want you to think that the book is a dog me out book or anything like that. No, it's actually a book that's going to encourage you and empower you and inspire you. And some of you are saying, well, Sharon, maybe I don't like men. Okay, if you don't like men, then it's okay. You can use the same knowledge and apply it to a woman. It's okay. I am not your judge. I am not here to judge you. I am just here to give you the information that I know that I have. How do I know that I have it? 5 times marriage champion, right? 5 times. So obviously I know a little something about marriage. Okay, I know how to get a ring. I can tell you that. Also, another thing, I used to be a serial dater, so I know how to date. I used to love dating, but fortunately, I am happily married at this present time. So we are waiting on our guests to chime in, and hopefully they will be on the live in a few moments. But it's going to be a great show. Why? Because of the conversation that my daughter and I had on today in the car in front of my husband. I talk about anything and everything in front of my husband, in front of my kids. It's just what we do. Okay, no bars held back. Back in the day, when my children were growing up, they were allowed to say anything and everything in the household as long as they said it respectfully. So there was no judgment. There was no, oh, you can't cuss. It was whatever you have to say, just say it respectfully. So, for example, if my child thought somebody was a bitch, Mom, I think that person's a bitch, not coming at me, but just expressing themselves. So that's how I got down with my kids. And a lot of times people say, oh, well, you were too open with your kids. Well, from what I know, the world will be very open with them and not teach them the right way. So in my household, anything could be communicated about. Any question could be asked. No question was a dumb question. It was, hey, these are my children. They have questions, they have emotions, they have feelings, they have thoughts, and they are allowed to share those thoughts and feelings with me. And I am honored that my oldest daughter, who has the 3 children, that they they actually, or she actually trains her children the same way to communicate about anything and everything. But guess what? I have my special guests, Tory and Teri from Love in Black, and they are so dope. They interviewed Honey Bunny and I on their live show, and it was phenomenal. And we became friends after that. So let's welcome my friends, Teri and Tory.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, hi, darling.
Hey, how are you?
See you.
Nice seeing you too as well. So
let me apologize before we start. I was wrapping up a client and it went way over. So we're going to toast.
Yes. What are you two drinking? I have a margarita.
I'm going to let her tell you the concoction she made.
Oh my God, it's strong. I didn't realize
it's good.
It's really good. It's strawberry lemonade, and it's really, really good. But it's got a little kick to it. So
I know that's right.
Yeah, and I end up putting strawberry cream soda with it. So it's like,
ooh,
I don't think we could say the name without.
They're
not a sponsor, so we can't say the name.
But it's flavored vodka, and it's really good. Strawberry lemonade. Really good.
Well, I love that. Thank you for being on Unfiltered with Sharon K. Griffin. Before we jump in, because I have some like hard stuff that I'm gonna talk about. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. I don't give a.
Right?
That's the first time I ever heard it be. That's the first time I ever heard it be.
But wait a minute, I said it after. So anyway.
You're not a bleeper.
No, I'm really not. I'm really not. So tell my listening audience about you, and then I'm just going to dig in deep, okay?
About us. What do you want to know?
Well, I'll just give you the intro. Yeah. We are marriage counselors by day and radio and television personalities in the evening. Mm-hmm. So, so we have a show called Love in Black, and that's either Love in Black Radio or Love in Black TV. And we're also on the different Spotify,
Apple
Music,
iHeart.
So we're known around the circuit, I guess. But we've been married a few years. Unless you ask, I don't want to say it because everybody's been asking lately.
Yeah, people have been asking lately. That's really weird.
Yeah, but
we have a combined total of over 40 years of marriage experience.
Nice.
6 kids, 5 grandkids.
Yeah, 6 kids, 5 grandkids.
And the reason I didn't want to say how long we're married because we have an episode of our show.
Yeah, we
it's
want
our anniversary show. Tune in, check it out, then you'll find out yourself.
Well, I love it. Okay, so have you all ever taken the BDSM test?
The what?
No. I know that acronym.
BDSM what? I know what it is. I didn't know. I thought it was.
I didn't know there was a test.
I didn't hear the last part. Yeah, I didn't hear the last
I didn't know there was a test to it.
Yeah, actually, there is a test at BDSMtest.org.
Well, let me take it right quick. See how
okay. So, like, I was in a clubhouse, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, there are a lot of Christian people on Clubhouse. And I started communicating about BDSM. Okay. And kink. Because I think that in the Black community, we shy away from those type of topics. And we think that someone that is involved in that type of sexual expression, that they've been traumatized by rape or molestation or something like that. And I was trying to explain to the people that maybe it's just a preference.
I think it's a preference. Although with us being counselors, a lot of that stuff does stem from sexual traumas from their childhood, or even as in adulthood.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can go both ways. I think it can be a preference, period. Yes, there are certain things in our childhood and adulthood that, that trigger certain desires.
Right.
Traumas, PTSDs. But there are some people that I do know that have not had that in their past, and it's something that they just like. They like to explore it. It's exciting for them.
Some people are wired
adventurous
differently, I should say.
Right, but I think that
they're Christian. So let me add
that. And I love that, and I especially love that. But I think that people, society, Christians shouldn't look down on other people because of a preference, because of a desire, because of sexual expression, because this is who I am, whether it's from PTSD, from childhood or adult trauma, or maybe that's just how I'm wired. Mm-hmm. And I actually just had this conversation, and this is why I started off so strong, is because my daughter and I just had this conversation, two of our daughters, and one is here right now. And we were just talking about that in the car, about how as Black or African Americans, how we limit ourselves when it comes to sexual exploration.
Okay.
And I'm not saying adding third parties. I'm not suggesting that or anything, but I'm saying just in general that we shouldn't be made to feel bad because this is who we are.
Yeah. I got feedback. But anyway, a lot of people, that's what deters them from the church, because of that judgmental attitude. And, there's been, since Caligula and all kind of other things, from the Bible. I mean, there's always been an expression of some type of sexuality, even within the Bible. And people just automatically think because they're in church, you're this different person all of a sudden. But you still have those either desires or those activities that you perform in. And, unless it's something that God frowns upon, I mean, to each his own, I kind of think.
Yeah, that's true, because what happens in someone's bedroom is their business, and it's not for us to judge.
And if they're married, in the book of, I think it's James, where it says the marriage bed shall not be defiled. So I mean, pretty much anything goes in there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the guard member.
I should have brought my handcuffs to this live in my whip.
But honestly speaking too, I have to say this, and I wrote it down, and I'll be taking notes because that's just what I do. Especially if you guys are talking, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. But I think that people look at it, like we said, people frown upon it. If we're going to say people, we're going to call out Christians, because Christians do a lot of finger pointing, and they shouldn't, because he without cast the first stone, right? But the thing is that what it's looked at when it's frowned upon or judged is kinky. And kinky is a matter of perspective.
Perversion.
It's a matter of perspective, though.
I thought she was about to say the other P word.
Can I tell y'all? Wait a minute. I want to tell you guys a funny story, right? This is really funny because you said perversion, Tory, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to this spiritual conference. And or a Christian conference. If I knew it was a Christian conference, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have went, right? But I went, and they said, okay, anyone who wants to go for prayer. So I was like, okay, let me just go for prayer, because I wanted to. I wasn't forced to. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the man was like, I'm praying off the spirit of perversion on you, right?
He didn't even know you?
No. And I was like,
y'all spirits connected.
And I was like, what? So after it was said and done, I went to my best friend. I was like, do you think I'm perverted? Like, I just
where's that judgment again? I
was like, I just think some things are normal.
But you know what? Like I was saying, that it's one's perspective. It depends on what it is. I mean, I have on flip-flops right now. My toes are painted different colors. Someone can see that and think, oh, she's kinky. It's like,
Yeah, they'll be like,
or they can think I like multicolored toenails. I don't know.
And you're going to suck them tonight.
I'm sorry.
We apologize.
We're still ministers. We're still ministers.
We are ministers, but we're real people, and that's a great segue to the fact that we counsel. Although we are marriage counselors, we're Christian counselors, but we counsel with real world perspective.
Yeah.
It's a three-pronged approach because you've got to meet people where they are today. Jesus did. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Right. And and that's what I love about you all. From the day that we met, well, actually before we physically met, I just loved your energy on our Zoom and then in person. To me, you guys are phenomenal. And I know you're ministers and doctors and, all that great stuff. But I see you as human beings, as people, as great energy.
We are. We are.
You know what?
Great energy. We try. We work at it. We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Because we were real people longer than we were counselors and ministers and everything. I think that's why we still keep it from a real world perspective. And a lot of times, I may blurt out a curse word or something. Not one of the big words. I'm not.
What's a big one? Give me an example.
Unless like MF or something like that.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that on one of our shows because that's too blatant. But if I say a short one or something, and I'm saying it in the context of what we're talking about, and somebody says something, and I always say, only been a minister since last year, right? Since last February.
Here's the thing. Us being ministers, that is like way down in the titles, and not to be. I'm a child of God first.
Exactly.
Right.
I love God. Period. That's my daddy. Period. Now we can move forward, and really, because that's it. That's all. We meet people where they are. We love all people, and we work with them in their walk. We all have a walk. If we were perfect, there's no need to be here anymore.
Exactly. So
there's no need to be here.
Yeah.
That is so true.
What's perfect? Come on. There is no perfection. Come on.
Yeah.
So tell me, what determines if a relationship is good in your opinion?
You want to go first?
Well, mutual respect. Lines that just don't get crossed no matter what.
Boundaries.
The boundaries. Yeah. It's like you both are here because you want to be. Yes. Not because you're forced to be, not because of, what someone else thinks. You're really there because you want to be. The rest of it can be worked out. Teaching certain skills we can help with. But people that are willing to roll up their sleeves and be together and want to be together and be the best they can be together for one another, that's a good relationship. Because that's how, remember, God judges us by our heart. So that's your intention. And we're big, the word intention, everybody is like.
Yes, be intentional.
Yeah.
And for me, and I don't mean to get clinical, but I am, I guess. For me, I think a good relationship is when both parties know their why they're in that relationship. Because, I say this almost every session, especially for new people. But I say this, why do you want to be together? And don't tell me it's about love, because you can fall in and out of love. Love is a roller coaster, like my wife is doing right now with the hands. And had to clarify. But what's your why? Why do you want to be with this person? Why do you love this person? Why this? Why that? It's just like, why do you wake up in the morning? What's your purpose, right? And I look at marriage a lot differently now that, because this is both our second, multiple marriages here, between the two of us. So it's our second marriage. And the thing is that purposely, we know why we're married. I knew I wanted to marry her from the first moment I saw her.
Oh, how'd you know? Spiritually,
it's something, and they just inside of me, it just said that's her, and I was feeling it. For me to fly to California and get to know her and I'm telling the story now in case these people not gonna go watch our show.
Wait a minute. Okay, did you meet online?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
I tell people to date
inadvertently online, not like
not
like seeking
service.
each other out, not sliding into the DMs or anything like that, but you know, just like, who's this person, you know? And we literally, it went from somebody liking some pictures and to me saying thank you, and then we started.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, if you gonna tell it now.
Who threw the hook?
Okay, so hold up. You was my friend in June. I didn't even know you existed. I didn't even see that he was my friend until November.
Even though we became Facebook friends, there was no interaction until she checked off like 1,000,002 pictures of mine.
No, that's not. Okay. Right? So that's
okay, 1,000,001 pictures then. So
we must tell you the story.
We'll tell you offline.
No, it's not even an offline thing. Real quick, I just happened to see. I would let people through because I wasn't on Facebook a lot, and so my friends would stack up. You know, the requests would stack up. So I would vet people. I would look and make sure that they weren't creeps, and I'd let maybe 10 through at a time when I had time.
Okay.
And so I let him through in June, but then in November, one night, midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning his time.
Someone said give all the tea. They said give all the tea.
Okay. Oh, child. Okay. So I had just broken up with this guy about a week before. Okay, dating this former football player dude. And I'm in bed that night. I'm from California. I was in my Raiders shorts because I'm an Oakland Raiders fan.
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever. So, no sidebar. So I'm on Facebook and I see this guy, this post, and I'm like, where did you come from and when did we become friends? Because that's how guarded I was.
Okay.
And so I went to his page and I saw he had like 300 friends and he had scriptures and pictures of his family, his daughter and his son, and they were just real wholesome stuff. Pictures of him at church. He sang in the choir. So I liked, some of the pictures I saw, and then I went to sleep. And so when I woke up the next morning, he was in my messenger and he said, "Oh, Teri, thank you for the likes."
I didn't say it like that.
He said, "Thank you for the likes." He said,
"I'm flattered." You talk like that.
He said, "I'm flattered." And I said, "It's not you, it's the Christ I saw in you." Because I just wasn't having it from any of the guys. I didn't want to hear you flattered. It wasn't like I thought you were cute or any of that. I wasn't looking
for did.
Later.
That night.
Substance was important to me. And I'm telling you ladies out there, check for the substance, baby. The substance is that laughing. That's your why. Okay?
Yes.
That's your why.
But okay. But doesn't looks matter some?
Looks matter.
Looks matter a lot, yeah.
Looks matter. I mean, I actually last night, our grandson, he's 4, had FaceTimed us, and he was busy, so I told him, I said, Pop, I'll call you back. And so we called him back, and while they were FaceTiming, I was just looking at my husband. I thought, you are so handsome.
True story.
Aww. I mean, we're going so much. We told you what we do. We're on the go so much.
Literally.
I mean, we're literally like,
all night.
Do I look okay? Is this okay? Okay, let's go. So I don't really get a chance to look at him like that. But I did when he flew to come see me. I did. I remember, waking up and thinking he had just proposed to me the night before, and I remember waking up thinking, "Oh shoot, this is gonna be good."
Okay.
I didn't propose that same night. It was another trip to California.
No, it was this trip to California.
It was the first trip you proposed?
Yeah, I proposed.
Okay, why do some men wait?
Well,
tell him what you said.
Put it like this.
He was like, "I ain't leaving California without you." I'm not. Yeah.
Oh, was that a stalker or like? No. I'm really.
You know what?
Okay, sorry, I know.
A lot of guys, they either don't know what they want or don't know what they have in the person that they're with, right? And by not knowing what they want, they let a good thing go a lot of times. And I've heard so many people say, just like I said earlier, when it was just something in me, I didn't know what it was, never had a conversation or anything. Something in me said, "That's gonna be your wife." Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I don't know what it was.
He saw my picture first. That's what it was. Yeah. On Facebook it looks like a little film strip, and it says people you may know. Mine would come up in that, and you said, what did you say?
Yeah, I said that's her. And I don't know. I don't know why those 3 words.
Okay.
Letters came out, but you know, and kind of incidentally, like when she first came to Maryland, I knew she liked Tiffany stuff. So I got this like blue powder Tiffany color mug, and I stenciled her on one side, and because I was looking for a Proverb 31 type woman, I stenciled Proverb 31 on the opposite side of the mug.
My brother was like, "Girl, you gotta do a craft, girl. That's
I never did that in my life."
Oh, okay. I have to ask this question because some people think it is very important to wait to have sex before marriage. Did you all wait?
We did the wait.
I'm so used to answering the other way around. Yes, we
did the wait.
We did the wait.
Okay.
And you know, because we wanted to do everything.
We wanted to do everything by
the book, meaning the holy book.
Okay.
That's where we were. You know, and I've been saved a few years prior, and she had been saved a few years prior, and so I was divorced. I was dating. I wasn't finding fulfillment in the women I was dating, and I was looking, you know, for a particular type of woman, right? One that matched me.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So in the wait, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because personally, I don't tell people the way. I say you gotta try on the shoe before you fit it. I mean, you gotta try on the shoe to make sure it fit. Okay, so I be like, honey, try it out, right? Yeah. Because it just might not fit. So when you guys consummated the marriage, was it everything that you expected? And the reason I'm asking this is because there's some people who have waited and they've gotten like divorced immediately because it just didn't work, or the penis was too big. I've heard of that, you know, or she wasn't experienced enough. So how was it your first time together?
I think I was. Well,
I want to go first.
How it went down. So here's the deal. It was our wedding night.
I was
right.
We got married in my home. So
okay.
Guys, we didn't burn with passion for long. Okay, we met and we met November 7th. He came November 6th. He came to Cali December 6th. I had already been there to visit him. He came December 6th. He proposed that night, and we were married on the 12th.
So that's like a month and a half. You guys were married.
That's a month and some days, some change.
And let me I guess correct something too.
I love it.
So when I said I went to California, and I mean, in my mind I was thinking, wait a minute, I didn't propose to you the first time I saw you, because it wasn't. I forgot that she had come. I had flown her out to Maryland first, and then I went to California. You know,
okay.
Yeah, so we met. I went like right before Thanksgiving. We met November 6th. I went right the week before Thanksgiving. Stayed the weekend, went to church, went out, party, kicked it, and then came back home. And then he flew to California on the 6th. He proposed that night, and he was like, "What do you want to do? You want to go to Vegas? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?" I was like, "I'm gonna marry you at my kitchen island in my
And that's what we did. That's what we did.
No, I didn't. I got sure. We got like, we
were in the next room.
Like, you gotta get a veil, Sissy. You gotta get a veil.
we were in the next room over from the kitchen.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, back to the wedding night.
Okay, so back to the wedding night. So the wedding night, we got married at my house. And so after that, it was just with my closest friends, which was about 4 or 5 friends. And
we're all in the bed together.
That's it. Stop. And so
I'm breaking
it down. Knock it off.
Some BDSM. Some polyamory. I'm sorry.
We got married at 7. He had made, because he cooked beautifully, he had made shrimp etouffee. And so everything was beautiful. The table, everything was beautifully decorated. So we all had dinner. And then after that, we played cards, we played spades, some good music. By the time they left, it was like
I love that.
In the morning. It was 4:30 in the morning. We had church the next day because he was leaving. He left church. I remember bawling. So that night, it was 4:30 in the morning. We were kind of sleepy. We had been drinking a lot of champagne. We had like.
Was it drunk sex? You know, in drunk sex, anything goes. Like,
BDSM powder.
Yeah, but hey, when we went, so then you came for Christmas, and we came back for Christmas.
Okay. So obviously it worked because you guys are still together. You're happy. You're in business together. What would you tell a young lady who really wants to marry a particular gentleman who hasn't proposed just yet? And it's been time. It's been maybe some years.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Oh, you want what? I know we got different stuff to say, so you go ahead. I'm going last.
I mean, for a woman that's been in a situation with a guy that's been either promising to marry her, we said it at first. What's your intentions? I mean, she has to make it known that that she has things to do, right?
Okay. A life to live.
She has a life to live, and if she's just occupying space, I mean, I don't know what woman doesn't want to get married, right?
Right.
And I don't know why.
Well, these millennials, a lot of them don't. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's true. We got 6.
Yeah.
But you know what? I will say this: layaway is for retail only. Okay, so don't you love you first, and you look out for you. Anything can happen. I mean, don't just wait.
Because look what happens though. They end up having children. They end up staying together. They don't buy a house together, so they're wasting money basically. Because they're either renting a house or if one person has a house and the other person is not. I mean, there's all kinds of things that go on. Or they just
end up waiting and still dating and waiting and still dating. My thing is this, sister. Don't wait. You assess yourself. Look at your map. Where are you going? What are you doing? Does his map align? And, be good. Be good with you. And take it fall back a little bit and just get your life in perspective of what it is that you want to do. That's what Teri would do.
Yeah.
I mean, and I would advise my daughters to do the same thing. I would not just put all my eggs in one basket because you could be blocking your blessings.
I'm going to say for me, right, when I met Honey Bunny, he did not want to get married again. He had just lost his wife, I think 4 months prior. And I made it very clear that I am getting married again and that whoever I marry, they have a year for us to date. And then a year and 1 day, if there's no proposal, no wedding, whatever, then that person is single and so am I.
Yeah, no hard feelings. No hard feelings. I'm just
right, exactly. No hard feelings.
Be done. Because why would you waste time? So a guy, I'm spilling the tea. Sean, you said this earlier. You tell all the tea. I'm spilling the tea on those guys. I mean, we have a thing. Not even a thing. It's just a thing. Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? So if we're getting the milk for free. Why mess up a good thing? Why do you want to mess up what we got here? We don't need no titles and all that. That's what a lot of guys say. There are, however, a lot of guys that want to be married, want to be involved, and they're the ones like myself and some other guys that we know that will step up, that are big real men, knowing not to occupy this woman's time and all, and keep her in limbo.
Okay, but like Sean said, right? What if there's a gentleman who they're not financially where they want to be to take care of a woman?
I don't even know, because I was saying, let me just say this. That's why I said, if you remember what I said a minute ago, look at your map. Do your maps align? Now, if this is a guy that is a student as well, and he's working towards something, he's not necessarily in his career position yet, but he is making the moves to get there, then have the talk, have the conversation, map it out together. This is my map. This is your map. How do they align? Are they going to align at some point? Are we going to, what's your end goal here with me? Does it line up? Does it match up? That's where the conversation starts, and then that's where you'll see where you are. You may part ways, come back later. You never know. But at that moment, respect each other's position of where you are so that it can be amicable, so that if it is a later, there will be a later. You know what I mean? Because it's positive. But cheer each other on. Make that journey about that. Celebrate those victories along the way, because it's for the greater good of the both of them. That's my
And I'm going to say 2 things. One, to answer Sean's question, assuming you're financially stable now, did they have any bearings on your proposal? If you're asking me, did they have any bearings? No, because I was financially secure, and I made very good revenue and all. Yeah, some of your financial stable now if they haven't bearing on your proposal. So anyway, my second point of that is if you can throw money, if money is the only issue with anything, then it's not an issue because you can always go and make money. Money, is one thing. It's a commodity that's always going to be there. So if you're using because we don't have the money, that means that you're not applying yourself.
Well, it may mean that
applying yourself how though? If you can share
if you're saying that because I'm not financially stable, I'm not able to marry you and take care of you and do the things I want to. Whose responsibility is that? Whose fault is that? That's your fault for not going to school, not picking up a trade, not doing those things that will enable you to bring in the type of money that you need to support not only yourself, but a family as well. So that's your responsibility because if you were married at any given time, even if you had the money, at any given time, if that money starts to wane, you still have to be able to find other resources to be able to either take the place of what was lost or build a better house from that.
I think
financial house.
I think, and even what you're saying to piggyback that, if it is money, really take if it is, and it's a situation that you're speaking of, take the time to really do the math on it, because it's like, where's your heart with this? Are you using it as the money? It's like, where's your heart with this? Even if it means you approach her with, here's a ring now. This is my intentions with you. This is what I want, and I do want to map it out. Let's say 2022. I expect to be here. Let a woman see your vision. Where there's no vision, the people perish. Let her see your vision. A woman may buy into your vision if you have a vision that includes her and if you're mapping it out and she really sees that you're working towards some working goal. But if you're just, getting high and just talking about, someday, hey, that's not. I can't hang my hat on that, and I'm not hitching my wagon to that stuff.
And Sharon, we have clients that are 20, 21 years old.
All the way up to 70.
We have clients that are 20, 21 years old, and the reason I say the ages is because other than musicians, ball players, entertainers, who has money like that? So It doesn't matter if you have finances or not. I mean, because obviously you got two 20-year-olds or two 19-year-olds that are in love enough to want to be married. So they're not really thinking about the financial. And in most cases, if not all cases, I don't want to put people's business out there, but there's always a baby involved, right? So if you're doing this, I don't know any 19 or 20-year-olds that make a whole lot of money unless they're, entertainers or something else. But obviously, their money is not an issue.
I think that, when you speak of like being young and married, because my first marriage, I think I was 19. You don't think about finances. You think about, hey, I love this person and this is what we're doing. And money, and it's like, yeah, we're going to figure it out. But I think
you doing it since the beginning of time, in the 50s and the 30s and the 40s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s.
But I think as we get older, right, that we start thinking about all those other things. Some people, I wouldn't. I'm a risk taker. I'd be like, fuck it, let's get married. We're going to figure this shit out. We might live in a hut, baby. But we don't get
That's real talk. And you'll figure out the rest later. But you know that you have the love to stand the test of the time. And that's going to be my foundation. We're going to make it. And so that right there, like I said, it's been done. It's been proven. We've come from products of that. How about that? So I think that it's just like my husband said. Like my husband said, the why. It's the why, and it's not monetary. It's so sad that everybody now, we see this, we're on social media, everybody is YOLO. Everybody's living their best life. I mean,
yes.
They just up the ante for everybody, right? I want that. Stephen and Aisha Curry. I want that. But it's like, you're your own brand, your own product. Do you at the level that is working for you, that was meant and called for you. That's
right.
And out of all the clients,
didn't I say from the beginning? Look at that substance.
Out of all the clients that we have, we haven't had not one single client that says, I'm with her because I'm a clout chaser. You know, I'm with I'm with her because she has a lot of money, or I'm with him because he has a lot of money.
Right.
You know, not one time has that ever come up, and I don't suspect that it will. Yeah.
And I agree. You know, I've married poor, and I've married okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's just what you want.
Yeah.
You know, and how valuable that person is to you. You know,
what's the why in it?
But you know what? For rich or for poor, the bottom line is, and I have a girlfriend.
I don't say all them vows though, but I do believe that part. I don't say them vows, but I believe that part.
He was well off, right? And she would not say the for richer or for poor. She wouldn't say
it. Yeah, girl.
But you know what? At the end of the day, you guys, because I think, if I remember, he ended up having a stroke. But the bottom line is they're still together, they're happy. It's still work. You ain't getting out of the work, honey, no matter what. So don't think you're starting anything or, you know, skipping ahead, not having to, you know, go through this or that.
And money doesn't cure anything. Money doesn't cure anything.
And
People
you know what?
You can be a millionaire and still get sick and still die. You know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Now, I have to ask you this because a lot of women who get married, they tend to forget themselves and they tend to cater to the man and be all that the man and the children want and need them to be, putting off their goals, putting off their dreams, putting off the things that they were born and equipped to do. How do you remain an individual in your marriage?
Well, go ahead.
So we
are you just talking about women, or are you talking about women, both of us?
Either, but especially women, because we lose ourselves a lot.
So we definitely promote individuality in the marriage, and I say promote it because a lot of times, and this is a lot of different real world situations where the wife is a housewife and the husband goes to work, and when he comes home, he goes to his den or he goes chill out, doesn't have anything to do with the babies, he eats, goes to bed, right?
Yes.
And meanwhile, the woman, she's like in her feelings, rightfully so, because now she, you know, it's like, whoa, I'm a person too. I'm part of this marriage too. Why, you know, why do you get to go out? Why do you get to do this? Why do you get to come home and relax? I've been here all day long slaving and dealing with the kids and things of that nature. Where's my me time? Where's my time with you? So individuality is important. And I said from that point of view there. And now what I'm not saying is that the way you were before you were married, as that individual, no, you have to have a marriage mindset at that point. Now you're married. Okay. Now you're in a marital mindset. And you have to change your ways of thinking. So if you were single and you go to the club all the time because you love music and that's your way of being an individual and all, once you're married, obviously that goes out the window unless your husband, you met him in the club and that's what y'all still do all the time.
Okay, speaking of the club scene, is it okay for a married couple to do that?
Oh God, yeah. We've done it. Yeah. Let me go back because I want to speak on that about the woman. This is a nugget here. Okay. So when we married, obviously I was a single mom prior, and
I was a single dad. Obviously.
But I had a very very full life, and was in the public eye. I was first African American board trustee in my town for school. So. With that, I had, like I said, was very busy. I had founded an organization for girls, all that, really, really busy. So then coming here and marrying, I thought, oh, this is good. You know, we had the kids. We had a junior in high school and a first year in college. The last young one, a boy and a girl. So I was getting them in college and getting them in school, playing that whole like white role thing, right? Just loving it. And then once that was done, it was like, okay, now what? His profession required him to travel. And I was like, okay, I need to rethink this because I had already prayed on it saying, God, wherever I move, in my life, I didn't want to give up my life. I liked the life I had. I had worked very hard for it. But I just was asking God, can you just morph that and whatever that's going to be in this new life where I can still have the same type of life? Well, I went back to school.
Okay.
And going back to school triggered all of this. My husband went back to school too, and we ended up like, let's do this again. And who knew? Because we were already doing marriage ministry in church. We just didn't know that it was going to take us the long haul. And once we did, because we're intentional, we didn't want to just be marriage ministry, at the church. We wanted to go higher. And that was the goal at the beginning that he and I came in agreement on. We were digging each other. We saw each other on social media, but we had a purpose from the day that we've talked.
Right.
We wanted a marriage in Christ that was fulfilling, and we wanted a marriage ministry. Well, we did that in the first year, and it was like, we thought it was going to take years to do, and it was like, oh, no. Nice. So that's when the radio thing came to us, and then the TV show. And so God was tapping us on the shoulder saying, oh, this way now, this way, because he knew we wanted to serve him and a life in him completely.
Yes.
And so here you are. This is the product of it. Yep. And it's just allowing it to be what it's going to be. But what I did in that moment, in that time, I did serve my family, my husband, and my children. And then it was like, okay, yeah, I'm about to do me. I'm going to school. And
I love what you just said, Teri, about serving, because my mother came down here to visit, and she pulled me aside and she said, you know what? You really serve your husband. And I thought it was just something natural. Like, it's nothing for me to think about. I enjoy serving him. Mm-hmm. I ain't enjoy serving the other ones. I still would be with him, right? But I enjoy serving him, so it doesn't take effort. Mm-hmm. It's easy. And I think that relationships, and let's talk about Black love.
Yeah.
I think that relationships, Black love, should be easy. It's not what Tyrese did he had a little trailer type movie where it was all this arguing and cussing and then fucking and, we happy for 10 minutes and then we mad again and we fighting and then we build up that energy and we come together having sex again. Black love should be easy.
Yeah.
I love yous, compromise, healing, helping. Yes, compassionate.
Yeah.
Whole.
You know what, Sharon? I say this all the time to our couples in counseling. Marriage is easy. It's us that makes it hard, right?
I agree.
It's true.
It's easy, but we make it hard. We make it hard by not doing those things that both you guys just mentioned. We make it hard by not wanting to give in. We make it hard by wanting to be the type of individual that I was stating at first. Well, I used to go to the club before I met you. I ain't gonna stop, So we messed it up by doing those things, and then we need to work on it. And then by the time we start to work on it, we're at that last leg. And this is probably about 85, 90% of the people that come to us. They're on this is our last straw here.
Right.
With my husband, we can be in bed, we could be watching something, and I can see him kind of leaning, and I'll pat my lap and go, come on, come in.
Aww.
He lay on my lap. There are times where he had been ill, where I would get the lotion out, the gloves, I would rub his legs and his feet because of inflammation. Yes. I mean, even now, I'll just sometimes do it. It's like, come on, put your leg up here. And I mean, like I was going to change a baby, lay a towel out with his legs and stuff so it won't get on the comforter. And he'll even say to me, baby, you want me to rub your legs? Like, wait till I get the shower. I'll get the shower.
But you know what? Yeah. So many of us have seen Black love as something that's been traumatic, right? Yeah. So we don't know what love looks like. So now couples like you, couples like my husband and myself, we're like the epitome of Black love and the example to the world or to our tribe of what it really is. And not saying that we don't get tired sometime or things like that. We do, but it's not a tired, hey, Ramona, it's not a tired where I can't stand you, nigga.
No.
It's not that kind of tired. It's like a self-care, self-love, and then come back to you with all the love that I have that I can give you.
Yeah. Your person that responded, Sean, I believe it was. She was saying about. She was actually saying the same thing I said. About being intentional about scheduling time for her as a woman, so that she can have that self care time and couple time. And I think that's very important because marriage shouldn't be one sided. Marriage shouldn't
Okay.
where one person is just the the benefactor of everything that is marriage. So you have to be able to share in that. You have to be able to do things together. And remember, your marriage is your child's classroom. So
and your family members.
So you're teaching them how to have relationships, how to be married.
Yes.
And even though we're talking about marriage and relationships, it teaches you communication, how to interact with other people, how to interact on your job and things. So it's you're teaching them, these little people, how to act. So if they get out there in the world and they're acting crazy and you're looking at them going, "Damn, you got no home training." Now you know what that means.
You know what? Like, all right. And I'm going to switch gears because I'm really into femininity, right?
Okay.
To me, women.
Is it time for me to leave?
No.
Oh.
I see so many women operating in a masculine energy. They're fabulous. They're pretty. They're beautiful, body shapes, everything. But the moment they open their mouth, I can hear the masculine energy. And it's not even what they say. It's just, I can sense it. And to me, a prime example of this, and some people might not agree, Gabrielle Union, in my opinion, has a masculine energy, while Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, operates more on the feminine. And I peeped that a long time ago. I'm just saying this is my perspective. And I'm not saying someone's gay or anything like that, but I've seen the roles reversed.
And you're partially right in that, because I talk about this in my men's group to other men, when you're only raised by women, when you don't have a male role model or a strong male figure in the home, you respond, you react as if a woman would, because that's all you know. That's all you saw, right? So with Dwayne Wade, and I mean, I know him as a basketball player, but I don't know him as a person. So I don't know how he grew up, if he was in a single family household. But that was one of those situations, that could be possibly one of those situations where he's taking on that feminine role, because I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not going to promote my son wanting to be my daughter. That's just me. I'm not going to do that. But the thing is that I see what you're saying and how she's taking on that role. Now, keep in mind, a lot of black women, and even a lot of white women, it doesn't matter the color, but a lot of women that didn't have a strong male role model in the house, or no male role model in the house, took on that same feministic characteristic. However, it was from the standpoint of their mother being the dominant person in the household, their mother being the woman that was in control and stuff. So they take that figure on as being a strong black woman, right?
Right.
To do this, and Roland said just what I'm saying right now.
Let me answer that as a woman. So with me, prior to marrying my husband, like I said, I was a single mom. So I was running it all. I had to manage my life and 3 girls' lives. So I did. So that's why I said when we got married, it was like, ooh, I get to go now and just relax and move on to who God created me to be, not this superwoman, right? So knowing that and wanting even that, recognizing it first, because that's the thing. You can't change and, if you don't acknowledge. So acknowledging it's like, yeah, I am. Okay, Sharon, thanks for bringing it up. I never would have stopped to realize it until you tapped into it. So then, women can now look at themselves and assess themselves, right? Yeah. So it's like, and like she said, my mom was masculine, so I had to learn to be feminine. Then you're like, how do I learn to do that and still keep all the plates spinning? The self-care, like you said, and allowing yourself to just be.
Yes.
Be still and be. So that you can, oh my gosh.
Right before I met my husband, I was operating in a masculine energy, but my energy came as a protective mechanism.
I remember you saying that on
women
our
do.
show. I remember you saying
That's
on
where
our
most
show.
women come from, because they have to be their own protector. They're protecting children. They have to be their own baby. Absolutely.
Yes.
And
So,
you know,
I really didn't have to learn to be feminine because I've always been feminine. I just had to say, okay, the walls can come down.
Wow.
And I think that's important, that women have somebody in their space where they can let the walls down. And it's okay, like you said, Teri, to be.
Exactly. And you know what? That's where mentoring comes in. And I strongly believe that every woman, every girl and woman should have a mentor till you leave here. Because there's different stages in your life that you have to have someone that's gone before you that can say, watch out for these landmines, watch out for that trap. So, because there's life you haven't experienced yet. There's life you and I haven't experienced yet.
You know what?
I have a mentor that's always been older than me at various times in my life. God sisters, I call them. They could be my mothers or older sisters, but I call them God sisters.
You know, I am happy that the Creator gave me this space and time, because now I can really teach my daughters, and I have been teaching, it's okay to be feminine. You don't have to be rough and tough. It's okay to let the guard down. Yes, you might kiss some frogs to get to the prince, but it's okay.
It's part of the journey.
Yes, 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 yes. Let's see. This was challenging place, especially when raising sons, because you want to show them some kind of balance. What do you all say to that?
Absolutely, you should. But you know, one of the things, I'm glad you brought that up in raising sons, a lot of women make the mistake because being women, we know other women. And so they'll tell their sons, don't talk to them girls, make sure you don't this and that. And so then when they're around girls from middle school, they don't know how to deal with them. And that's why we have a lot of men that are, you know, can be physically abusive or just verbally abusive or emotionally abusive, because their mothers never taught them how to honor. And sometimes they turn around and they treat the mother bad. You never taught them how to interact with young ladies. You can teach them to respect it. It's still, you expect grades and things. It's like, you want that young lady? That's a nice looking young lady. A lot of people gonna want her. You want her? You want to make sure that she gonna want you. Have your act together before you go choosing a woman and her choosing you. But in the same breath, know how to treat a lady. And so I think that when you want to give that balance, that's you still being in your feminine energy. You're still a boy child, and you're going to games, and you're that boy mom, but you still teach him how, just like you would his elders. It's the same thing with another woman, whether it be an elder woman or whether it be someone that is his peer, how we're different and how we should be treated special. Those things, a lot of women make the mistake of wanting their sons to themselves, and boy, I'm a
I hate that.
And all that. That's not. That's a service when it comes to, even if they might have a female boss later. You gotta teach them how to treat women.
That's right, and to love themselves. But Rona says, in a yoni steam to remove trauma and soul ties. So I wanted to ask her a question, right, with this whole yoni. Is your yoni your pee hole? That's the only way I can. Like, no, seriously.
Yes, it is.
Like, I'm trying to figure that yoni thing out. I mean, it is the pee hole.
It's so funny. Our daughter came home the other day and she's like, "Oh, I got this kit and I'm gonna have to see." And I was like, "Oh, what is it? It's potpourri. What is this?" And she had showed me the whole kit. She's like, "Oh, it's so quick." Blah blah blah. She had already gone, and got the whole cleansing and everything done. And
okay.
A baby that's 4 months old, so it was very important.
Wow, a yoni vagina steam.
It's your vagina, right? But okay, because her name is actually Dr. Mona Goddess, right? So I'm kind of curious.
What you want to know?
I know it's the vagina, right? Never mind, because it would have to be a visual. I have to talk to her off the camera. Okay. So this whole yoni thing, right? Around the pee hole, there's a very good sensation when oral sex, right? So I identified the yoni with that little space and area in the vagina. And it felt good. So I was
So is it changed from the G spot to the Y spot now?
well, the G spot is up and to the left, depending on who you're talking to.
Don't you know?
I thought it was up in the middle.
I thought you knew. I was convinced you knew.
Well, y'all can practice tonight. I need you to find her G spot.
My left or your left?
Like, what are you talking? What does it matter?
My left or your left?
And Sean says she needs to know too about that yoni, because near that pee hole it feel good, but I'll be like, I don't want a UTI. So
yeah, no, it's just steam. It's just steam.
no, I'm talking about the yoni though.
No, so just think of it in terms
okay.
of, yeah, it's like herbal. It's okay.
Okay, she said it's the entire vagina. She said it's the entire vagina. Wow. So guys, I'm having an awesome time. I ain't gonna lie. But I know you all are super busy and I'm loving this. Do you have 10 more minutes?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Our show comes on at 9.
So we're good.
Oh, yeah. Are you sure? I don't want you guys to rush.
We already done it. We're good.
Okay, where can people go to your show next?
They can go, if they're on Facebook, they can go to Love and Black with Tory and Teri.
Okay.
And they can also go on YouTube, same thing, Love and Black with Tory and Teri.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm writing that in the thing.
Okay.
So, yeah, the whole yoni thing is very interesting to me. And I was trying to figure it out. That's all.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, back to this whole feminine energy. Tory, are men attracted to that energy, or that really doesn't matter when it comes to dating a female?
I think when you're talking in terms of femininity energy like that, mm-hmm. I think for a man that's a bad thing, because it's like that woman's already into herself and she's like, she's finding herself and she really don't need a man, but she need a man for that, right?
Okay.
And women don't send bad messages to me or whatever. I'm just telling you I'm just answering the question. But okay. I've met women like that, and that's what I'm talking about. When they come off that strong and their aura is all about them and things like that, So I just for me, there's not a connection there.
Okay. In asking that question, just because we, again, being counselors, when you ask, do some men want that type of woman? Some men do, because if their mothers were that, they're comfortable with that type of, they're comfortable with that. Especially if they come from a lineage of women that pretty much,
degrade men.
Yeah, the women, there was a lot of women in their family, and those were the head of household. That's what they saw. Yeah. And so it becomes a comfort zone for them. They know how to navigate through that, in that.
And I think too, a lot of, so you hear this term a lot with women, strong black women, and they'll say, "Oh, you can't handle a strong black woman." But what does that really mean? And I've come to find out that, and this is through no scientific research, but I've either have known some of these types of women that have said this, or you can kind of see it on on the social media. These women, they were raised without a father in the house, and again, when it's just like the same thing happens to a male, you have daddy issues.
Okay.
There's no one to tell you that you're beautiful other than your mother, but you need that validation from a male. You need that, or a man. Yes. You need that validation, because what happens is that they're either too strong because their mother taught them, hey, you can do anything. You don't need a man. You don't need a man for this, and maybe to pay your bills or whatever. So they get that. Women get that ingrained in their head. So they don't need the guy. So they come off as a strong black woman.
So and then check this out.
They are. Go ahead.
So does a strong black woman equate to broken black woman?
broken in the sense of
I don't think that all strong Black women are all. Are we just talking Black women? Did you say Black women?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
A strong Black woman does not necessarily equate a broken one. It depends on what that strength is. You could be a strong Black woman, and that's okay. But you don't have to be broken. A strong Black woman. Now there are some broken, strong Black women. Put it that way. Or that call themselves strong. Because if you're broken, you're not. There's a weakness there because you're broken.
And if you're strong, you don't have to tell. It's just like being a Christian. You don't have to tell people that you are. Let people see it in your walk.
Yes.
So you don't have to profess that you're a strong Black woman. Let your actions speak for themselves, and that's going to determine what type of man you're going to draw. Because I tell you this, it's an automatic turnoff when a woman is telling a guy, well, I'm a strong Black woman, because we have one thing in our head as to what a strong Black woman is.
Do you think that when women say that, they're going to be a strong Black woman? Just like
I think they're trying to validate themselves.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
I really.
The strong Black women, other people tell them that they're a strong Black woman.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
That's why I was saying that all strong Black women are not broken.
You shouldn't have to call yourself beautiful, or you shouldn't have to say, "Do you think I'm beautiful?" You know you are from what you were raised as, what you were taught, and that's what I was saying about the father being in the house, or a strong male role model or man. I keep saying, because there's a big difference between male and man, but a strong man presence in the household that's going to cater to what you need as a little girl, because these are the things you're looking for when you become an adult woman into a relationship.
Right.
You want a man that, my wife doesn't have to open up any doors. She doesn't have to do things. Because I'm going to treat her, even if we're mad at each other, I can be mad and I'll walk around and I'm like, shit,
and I love what Sean said. She said, your strength will shine through. And it goes back to not telling people.
You don't have to wear a banner saying I'm a strong Black woman.
Or a bullhorn, I'm a strong Black woman. It comes out. It's energy.
And it's exactly. Rona, you're saying the same thing I'm saying. They're going off of experience and being protective of their energy. And because they do this, then they wonder, how many strong Black women are in relationships? Answer that question.
You know what? All right. Y'all can answer the question. I have one more thing to say, and then I'm going to let y'all go because I know your show. So answer your question.
No, I asked the question.
Right.
How many strong Black women do you know that are in relationships?
Well,
I know that strong Black women.
No, those women that profess that yell from.
Oh, I don't know any. I don't know any.
Thank you. My point is that
I don't know any. So I have to say this, that just in communication with women here in our area, right? There are so many broken women who are suffering from PTSD, childhood trauma, things that have been done to them that they really don't share, but they're carrying that burden.
Yes.
And we have so much work to do. And I'm going to say in ministry, and then just as people, when you meet someone and you hear that their parent allowed them to get raped by their husband, and that person hasn't dealt with that, it's like that bitter root expectation springing forth and defiling many at the opportune time that it could just spring up. And it just affects a whole society of people because it's a trickling effect. So I don't know, I guess in your counseling and in my coaching, we have some work to do in the healing aspect. And it goes back to what you said, Teri, earlier about not judging people. Just meeting people where they are, even if we don't agree with what they're doing, what they're going through, how it's manifesting. it's about listening with our hearts as well as our ears.
Mm-hmm.
And allowing people to share. So I would like you all to express your last words as we go, because I know you have a show that you must do.
For me, and unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because it certainly is, even if we don't know initially that there's been molestation, sexual traumas, or any type of traumas, and I'm not just going to say just women, men and women.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Even if we don't realize it from the onset of our first couple counseling sessions, it's going to manifest itself, right?
Yeah.
Because we're looking for triggers. Why are they doing certain things? Why are they acting like this? And we can pinpoint it. We can pinpoint it by the responses we get to certain questions, and then we come out and just directly ask them.
Yes.
How was your childhood? What happened in your childhood that make you feel this way? Those types of questions.
I ask point blank.
And like I said, we ask point blank and all, but
Love it.
It doesn't matter how we ask. 100% of the time, 100% of the time, there has been some type of trauma, some type of sexual molestation.
Yeah, we can use.
And a lot of times, it's been from either close family members or close family friends, and
or multiple.
If you, multiple. Oh yeah, we've been getting a lot of multiples lately. Which one of your guests or viewers mentioned soul ties earlier.
Yes.
And
Dr. Rana.
and I said initially about the soul.
Yes.
Soul connecting. And I honestly believe that those spirits, whether good or bad, they recognize each other. Remember, we're talking powers and principalities, these things that we can't even see that affects us as people, as human beings. Well, not people, but as human beings. And these things occur in that spiritual realm. And so those spirits recognize each other, right? And you got that one submissive spirit because they've been molested and everything and never either recovered or gotten help for it. And that their spirits are broken. And then you have those that take advantage, those spirits that take advantage of those types of spirits. And that's why they keep connecting. That's why you say, why do I keep ending up with the same type of person in a relationship?
Right.
And that's the reason. It's not like you have a sign in your head, but you have a spiritual sign that's released in the atmosphere to other people. So it happens.
It's a draw. It's a draw.
But if I was to say anything, so many, even my parents, I'm not going to speak for my wife, let her say it, but so many families we know, even like taking a look at ourselves, our parents, our grandparents, our great-great-grandparents, whatever, they really screwed us up as people. Because they really have. Because and we're going to do a show, about what was acceptable back then that's not acceptable now. Because all the things that used to happen back in the day.
Well, you do better. They didn't know better.
Right, I agree.
Exactly. So my point is that we have to break these generational curses, and it has to start somewhere, and that's where we take it in our counseling session. My wife said we come from a three-pronged approach: clinical, spiritual, and real world, and we combine those three, and we make it to the point where they're not only getting healed, but they're healing their families. They're breaking that cycle. They're recognizing what's going on, and they're reporting it. They're believing their children when they say, "Uncle such and such touched me," or Aunt whatever. Whereas back in the day, not even back in the day, even now, we hear today, where my mother got remarried and this happened, but I tried to tell her, she wouldn't believe me.
Yes.
So we have to start acknowledging and believing our children, because why would they lie about something like that?
Right. So, Dr. Teri?
Yeah, my thing is this: face it, because it's the caged bird who sing. It's the caged bird who sing. And if you're singing to yourself, if you're humming, if you're shelling it from the rooftops, it's a form of deliverance. And it can have no power over you. Once you speak a thing and call a thing, it loses that power. Or it gains power. So it depends on what you're speaking.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like the victim word. I don't want women to see themselves as a victim. What the enemy meant for bad, God can turn it into good. And so I say that because I had been sexually abused as a child, and I was quiet. And I ain't quiet no more. I mean, you know, so what I do is the cage bird sings, right? And
find
so
your voice,
that voice helped save so many others. You know, like I said, I founded a girls organization, and I mean, I taught it in all of Oakland public schools, that picked up my curriculum. So imagine over the years of me teaching that, how much that's sown into families. They paid it forward. I paid it forward. They paid it forward. And so you owe it to yourself. If it means, you know, an intimate time with yourself in the mirror after a shower, to look yourself in the mirror from head to toe and just declare and speak everything beautiful about yourself, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, that you are wonderfully made, and nothing can change that or separate you from the love of God. And that's why I love the Lord so much, because knowing that is a freedom like no other. And you begin to cleanse from the outside, the inside out, and you walk with a light, because you know that, I mean, nothing, you can't be touched. It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
And that's what Jesus meant. Exactly.
And so
that are free indeed.
Turn that into something good. If it means a testimony, if it means sharing and volunteering somewhere to help and tell your testimony, but live it full circle, so that you're able to turn it into a positive, instead of it being something you withhold and suppress as a negative. Don't let it do that to you.
How can people reach you if they want to get counseling, if they want to follow you on social media? Where can they find you?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple different things here. For counseling, our counseling business is called I Forever Will Christian Marriage Counseling. You can find us on our website at iforeverwill.com. You can also find us on Facebook at iforeverwill.com. You can also find us at Love in Black with Tory and Teri.com, and it'll take you to our shows, past shows and all, and let you know what's coming up. If we have a casting call, if you want to be on the show. One of the unique things that we do with our show is we have a segment where, and you know, if you're on our show, where we receive letters from the public and we answer.
I love it.
And so if they want to write in a letter for us to answer, or they have a topic that they want us to talk about, all you gotta do is go to loveinblack, the number 1 at gmail.com. That's loveinblack, number 1 at gmail.com. And you can submit your show ideas, your letters, your request to be either on one of our radio shows or one of our television shows.
Okay.
That's our model. And you know, I just want to tell you really quickly. So you see here, we've got the Love in Black, the TV show, and then we've got the radio show, and then the I Forever Will marriage counseling. But our motto is winning is one. And Love in Black, let me tell you what it means. Love in Black is having your love in the positive. You don't, it's just like your finances. You don't want it in the red. You don't want it in the negative. You want it in the black. So you want your love in the positive. And that's what it is. We cultivate positive love conversations about.
So you don't have to be black to watch the show.
No, well, we love our black sisters and brothers, and we see it.
But I want to thank you all for being so awesome as usual.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you are very welcome, and I'll be tuning into your show as well, because no one's here with me, so I'm just going to sit and watch. They're out. He's out with his daughter and niece right now, so it's just me.
That's exactly what we were about. Having, I don't know how old they are, but it doesn't matter, because he's spending time with them. He's showing them love from not just a family member, but from a man's perspective, a positive role, which is our show tonight. A gentleman from the Morehouse College, and he formed a business that is called The Black Man Can. And he promotes positivity in the Black culture as well. He has an organization and all.
You can find him on IG and on Facebook. Yeah. Wonderful. The Black Man Can.
The Black Man Can.
So, I love that.
Yeah. So normally our shows, I mean, we get a little risque on the TV show and a little raunchy on the radio show, but not really. But tonight, tonight is promoting positive Black culture, or positive.
Our family.
Yeah. So we definitely want the family members to tune in tonight.
For sure.
Oh, well, thank you for joining me. Yes, and I can't wait till you guys are recognized at the gala. So that's going to be super dope excited. I have to get my dress for that. I've been looking for a dress, so I'm going to find a dress. So anyway, for that. But thank you so much. I am going to take you off the screen, say my goodbyes, and I will be right back. Thank you so much, you all. Thank you. Hey, butterflies, thank you for tuning in. I'm super dope excited that you have joined Love in Black with Tory and Teri on this evening. They are phenomenal people. If you have any questions, if you need coaching or counseling, reach out to them, especially when it comes to love and dating and all that kind of stuff. If you need personal development coaching, I am your girl. I'm going to help you live free and be fabulous. Honey, you are going to walk in confidence and get everything that you need, want, and deserve. Don't forget to purchase 134reasons.com. The master class, the dating master class is on May 8th from 10 to 12 Central Standard Time. So it's going to be super dope, exciting. And we're going to help some women get some men, okay? So anyway, thank you for tuning in. This is Unfiltered with your host, Sharon K. Griffin, a.k.a. Madam Butterfly. You are phenomenal. Don't forget to flap your motherfucking wings, okay? I love you.